Hi everybody, here we've got a quick fire playthrough for the qualifying round in Rookie Division Spring Major. Hole number 1, I don't have a good drive here. I could not hit perfect on either account, so apologies. But this is the idea is right, just need to execute. 4.5 topspin, 2.5 side spin to the left with a katana. Aim just on the left side of that, the gap between the bushes, slightly favouring left side down the fairway. Unfortunately, great right here is going to be trouble, and we found that out the hard way. The adjustment is max plus 10. And you'll see if you're just a fraction to the right here, it does roll into the rough. Obviously, you can still save a birdie, but we want a chance at the eagle. So perfect ball there will leave you a very nice thorn. Hole number 2. Max distance of the backbone with power 1 ball. And my reference is here. We're looking at the red ring touching the rough. Going with a little bit of backspin, a little bit of side spin to the left. Absolute max. In fact, I move away slightly from the rough there with the red ring. I adjust this one max plus 10. Does need a little bit of a tweak. Thankfully, we do have level crosswind edging onto tailwind, so we don't need a power 2. Perfect ball, and we see how this one comes in. Just going to miss to the right, so I do think we need to add a little bit more left spin as an offset there, and maybe a touch more back spin. We were coming in hot. 4.5, a top spin, 2 left spin on hole number 3. Stretching out, seeing how many rings we need to push up or overpower. I adjust this one max plus 10. And then once we're done adjusting, push back up to max. Going right side on this, going to favour the rough bump. Second shot. If you don't fancy the rough bump, you can also play left hand side for a clearer shot to the pin, doing a standard bounce. A couple of rings of overpower and half a ball of curl outside the adjustment ring to the left. Perfect ball away. And we bounce over there. Obviously, extra mile 5, going to need a little bit more overpower to cope with the lack of distance. Second shot, going to need the Goliath here, because otherwise we would have been in between clubs. So my mistake here is I don't have enough topspin. So instead of what I use here, I think you should be going with 3.5 bars of topspin. Obviously, we just got to cope with whatever ball guide we have. So just go with 3.5 here rather than 3. You'll see why we do come up short. Adjustment here, maximum distance minus 10% elevation. So max minus 10. Plays ever so slightly uphill. Don't worry about adjusting into the bunker. Just replicate the landing position. Like I say, a little bit more topspin here would have been good. We do hit the rough just about halfway there, maybe slightly low, but like I say, a bit more topspin, very good chance for an albatross. Hole number 4, mid plus 20 is the adjustment I think we need here. I did do mid plus 10 and it was not enough. Lining up there, using a sniper. If you don't have the sniper, you can play with Viper as well. Lower level sniper will not have the backspin, so check you do have over 35 stat in backspin. Aim the pin as best you can, but rather than going mid plus 10, which I do here, I think we should go a bit more, so try mid plus 20. Do not want to come in too hot because the green does slope down to the back there into the rough and the sand, so pace is key. Good speed, but look at that, about a ring away there, so more adjustment needed on hole number 4. Hole number 5, going with a big topper. The change I'd make here is I would play with a navigator rather than a quasar. We do not need 2 bars of side spin. So set up with a navigator, max top spin, 1 bar of side spin to the right. And then we're going to adjust max plus 10. So the red ring just into the rough there is the reference. So max plus 10, the adjust. and then we're going to bounce over with all of the topspin that we have and get ourselves to position ready for a minimum distance backbone. And this is always a bit weird in headwind because you don't want to be in between clubs, but I did play this with a navigator as well and we were still okay. So find the minimum distance line, then we're going to add spin. What we want to do here though is just go with 3 bars of backspin. Do not go with any more than 3. Obviously you may need to tweak this depending on the length of your drive. You might have a slightly shorter drive or longer drive, but the idea is still going to be the same. Adjust minimum distance plus 20%. Min plus 20 here. And you'll see why I suggest the backspin tweak in a moment. Very good line here, but we do sadly come in short, and we do not want to go short in line. A little bit off to the left, but like I say, tad bit more, well, I say tad bit less backspin. You do have a good chance. Hole number 6, we have cross wind with slight headwind angle. So I'm going with a Titan, 4.5 topspin, 2 bars side spin to the right, and adjusting this one max plus 10. Then we are going to go with some right curl, edge of the ball touching the adjustment ring to the right, and a couple of rings of overpower. Hitting perfect, and we have plenty of room here, centre fairway, rolling straight down the middle. Could push it a bit further if you'd like, but we do have an albatross coming up. It's an outside chance at an albatross, and you're going to have to change your spins according to your drive distance, but it's still a good chance. So I'm going with topspin here because I'm almost at max with the sniper level 6, and aiming at pin as best I can. I adjust this one max plus 30. Max plus 30. Very difficult without the full ball guide, and we do have the tree in the way as well. But we managed to find a camera angle that will work. Comes in a little bit on the hot side. It's a good job it does hit the pin. I think we'd have stopped back of the green or the fringe, but as it happened we dropped it very nicely. It did hit the pin and drop. Nice line there. Hits the pin and falls for an albatross. Hole number 6. Hole 7, we have a hole in one here for you with a navigator. If you don't have sniper, you can also use the Viper as well. Spin here, 3 bars backspin. A bit of the yellow ring outside the rough, but look at the ball guide. This is why we like the sniper. Ball guide going through the hole. I adjust this one mid plus 10, however I do think we need to go slightly bit more. So I would suggest mid plus 15, just to give you an extra 0.1, maybe 0.2. And you will see here why I suggest that. We do hit perfect. We do hit the rough at a nice point, but look, we just sneak this one in on the right edge as we look from the tee. So a tad bit more on the adjust. I think it'll be right at pin. Hole number 8, I want you to do what my first instinct was here, and that's to stretch out right there, play with 4.5 topspin, 2 bars left spin with a Titan, and then go with 2 rings overpower and half a ball of curl to the left, adjusting max plus 10. We want to bounce directly on that second piece of fairway and then do a double bounce. Unfortunately, I did not go for that. I decided to back out and go with quarterback instead. But I do feel my first option there is going to be the best chance for an eagle. But the layup, 3 top, 3 right, if you want to just bounce over with the quarterback to avoid 2 to 3 rings of overpower with extra mile 6. You will need more with extra mile 5, of course, I would think. But perfect ball, and this does bounce over there. It is going to be a difficult second shot, though, in terms of getting a drop. So I think if you can do the double bounce onto the third piece of fairway, it's much, much better. So we're at max distance of the thorn here, and my chances really of dropping are very, very reduced compared with playing directly after the rough, which is what we want to do if we play my first option of the drive. So in which case you'll be playing with backspin, trying to get that flat ball guide and dropping that for an eagle. But here we just go max plus 20, and I just go for a bounce over instead. So I would recommend, as I said, the other method on the drive here for a better chance at an eagle. And finally on to hole 9, and they're giving us a nice generous wind here in rookie division. 4.5 top spin, 2 bars side spin to the right, aiming on the middle of that pad. We will push up a little bit here as well, straight down the middle of the fairway beyond, adjust max plus 10, and then once we're done, push directly up to max. Here I go with a little bit of right curl and a little bit of overpower as well. Minor great left, but it's not going to matter. We've got plenty of fairway to aim at. And next shot we're going to have sniper. I do suggest though you would be better off playing with something with a little bit more backspin, especially if you don't have sniper 6. But we want to be pushing up slightly from minimum distance, so we're not in between clubs. And here we want to be aiming at the pin. I go with all the backspin I've got, which is about 3.5 bars, and I adjust this one mid plus 10, or 1-on-1 with the sniper. Both are going to be around the same area. You do have a chance at albatross here. We are going to come in slightly on the hot side with the sniper 6, and definitely would be with the sniper 5. So choose your wood club carefully here. Sadly we do hit a great right, but we're on very, very safely for an eagle. I do believe perfect would have been very, very close, if not in. Good luck if you're playing rookie.